Okay, I'm gonna record this dream. Um, okay, so I'm trying to think. I just woke up from a dream, an afternoon nap. Today is May the 7th, 2020, and the time of the dream was about 2:30 p.m. today. Today's a Thursday, and so okay, when the dream started, I actually have been dreaming when my memory of the dream started. Um, I was in some type of. It's like I was in a movie theater, but it was a moving, almost like a ride in an amusement park, but just huge, because like the so whatever type of vehicle it was as wide as a movie theater, right? So I'm in the movie theater, and there's like the left back gallery, the right gallery, and the middle gallery of people, and the chairs are like moving, and the way it's moving is like they would all accordion up together, and you couldn't catch yourself in them. You couldn't be in them when they were accordioning up. You had to like jump up on the top of the chairs and miss getting accordioned up in there, right? And then like jump to the next series of ones that were accordioned. And so like the goal was to like leapfrog over these. But the thing is, like, the same chairs didn't stay accordion together. Like, they would all relax for a second, and then like the group inside those would accordion together. So it was like at an odd interval, right? So it caused you to not be able to sit down in any of the chairs for any length of time before you had to jump up and catch the next, jump up on the top of the next accordion one and jump forward. So I caught on to this interval pretty quick. So when they would accordion together, I would jump several ahead and then wait, and then they would relax and then jump up and they would accordion again and then jump over the next one. Just doing that a couple of times, I was all the way to the front. In the front, there was like a smooth seat that the best way to describe it was like if you in an old timey like station wagon, if you lay the seats like the back level, the back seats, if you lay them all the way down, and if you were to sit on top of that, that's like that's what this was like. I was sitting on like that, and all the accordion was going on, and everybody behind me was just looking at me like in wonder, like, wow, Kendall jumped all the way to the front, and somehow I realized they knew my name, like Kendall, like they knew Kendall jumped all the way to the front. I didn't recognize any of them, but like they all knew my name, like so I'm just sitting up there waiting. Then all of a sudden, the see, at this point in time, I didn't realize I was dreaming. I was real deep, into it. So like this was going on. So then all of a sudden, the whole auditorium would accordion together, and like the ceiling would be right on your face, and you'd be laying back, you know, and it was just temporary because there was this movement like you were going a really long distance, like up and down, like roller coaster uh, hills, and then all of a sudden it would slow down a little bit, and it would accordion back up into being an auditorium, right? So it was like auditorium, and you're trying to jump the seats. But see, the thing is, when the entire building accordioning and going down these like wormhole like roller coaster hills, I didn't have to be also jumping the accordion chairs at the same time. So I was in the comfort of the seat at the front of the auditorium, so I could just like enjoy the roller coaster of the action of the entire building accordion and going through these roller coaster hills, invisible, like you couldn't see outside the room. You just was aware that the whole building was moving. So, okay, so that went on for a few cycles, and then for some reason, it felt like everything stopped. Some people started getting up, you know, and I even started getting up, like moving toward the exit, and all of a sudden it started back up again. Like, oh no, people were trapped outside their seats. And I look back, and there's a little child. And I thought to myself, when this stops and it accordions, I said, I'm strong. I'm going to be able to endure whatever it does to me, but it's going to kill this little kid. I thought, no, what do I do? All of a sudden, I looked up at the wall, and there were these three buttons, and the middle button was an X. And I thought, that's a shut off. And I reached up real fast, super fast speed, and pushed the button, and everything shut off. And there were some people that saw it. They were like, "He's just saved that little kid." Everybody's like, "He saved the kid." Yeah. Okay, so that was the first part of the dream. Then, uh, so then, uh, all of a sudden, I was in sometime like post-apocalyptic, like New York City, like a almost like Staten Island, like out where you bury a body and stuff. And I was walking with like Marlon Brando, and he was the Godfather. It's like I was in I was in the Godfather world, and I was walking, talking to Marlon Brando. And we were in a junkyard. It was Marlon Brando and somebody else. And I thought to myself, are they fixing to, you know, me, But then it was like, just even though I had to, like, it's almost like he read my thought, and he started talking to me, like the Godfather. And all of a sudden, please stop scratching over there. The dog's scratching. So then, so I realized I wasn't in any danger, right? That they were friends, not foes. So, all of a sudden I started hearing this wheezing. It was a real quiet moment in the junkyard. It was like we're in this atrium, like where you go in a gate and shut that gate behind you. And it's like we were in this little enclosed atrium with walls of a junkyard before going, and we're sitting there really quietly, just not saying anything, standing there. And in the quiet, I could hear this wheezing, and I realized like I needed to cough, but I didn't want to cough at this wheezing. And all of a sudden, I started realizing that the wheezing wasn't coming from my voice box. It was like coming from like the top front part of one of my lungs. I was like, kept hearing this wheezing, and I hadn't realized it yet. But what it was I was somewhat snoring in my sleep, so that it sounded to my ears that were concentrating on the dream. It appeared to be far off wheezing, but really what it was is I was just snoring in my sleep, laying in the bed. But I hadn't realized that yet, because the moment that I realized that caused me to wake up from the dream. So as the dreams continue, I'm hearing this wheezing. I look at it, and they could hear it too. And I said, I got this, this wheezing, I said, need to go see my doctor. And all of a sudden, Brando said, "You need to stop smoking cigarettes." And it was profound, like, do I? Need to stop smoking cigarettes? Like, because Marlon Brando told me, the Godfather said I need to stop smoking cigarettes. And then all of a sudden, my brain put together what you're hearing is your own snoring, and I woke up from the dream. So, like, uh, I'll spare you any analysis on this one. I mean, probably could come up with analysis about the auditorium, the roller coaster, and saving a little child, and all that kind of stuff. It's like in a jumping up, catching on to it before the people and jumping up in front. That's kind of like me being an intuitive type. I mean, I can kind of see where things are going before some people, maybe, maybe to the point of even being able to benefit people, like saving a little child or whatever. Maybe like the whole first part of the dream with the auditorium and all that. That was like just reminding me of my intuitive nature. You know, Maybe even actually in an odd way, in a type of a inside the dream prophetic way, reminding me of my own ability to interpret my own dreams. So then came the second part with the wheezing noise and the Godfather and all that kind of stuff, like telling me that I need to stop smoking. Maybe like the whole synopsis of both dreams together, the first part and the second part of the dream, was like my own thoughts that I have been having lately, like is like not formed as as a declarative statement, not yet, but it forming the question in my mind, like, is it time to stop smoking? Like, I have been thinking about that lately. So my dream was kind of like that. Dream was kind of like my mind's way of expounding on that and exploring that in the dream world. Like, do I need to stop smoking? Okay. So anyway, I don't know if I'll end up making this part of a channel that I want people to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. So if you found this video because of some channel There's some future date I make on YouTube, and this is like one of the backlog dream videos. Then go ahead and hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you found it interesting. You share it with other people if you like, and hit the notification button. Thanks for your time.